What's up, guys? All right, the injuries for the game: Keon White, questionable; Trent Williams, questionable; Stout, questionable; Kittle, questionable; Ricky, questionable. Go ahead.
I know Stout was out there without a blue jersey. Has he been cleared through the protocol?
Not officially yet.
How would you assess Trent's progress?
I think he's made good progress.
He's not moving very well, like, walking to the locker room, Sunday, which it seemed to, obviously I'm a doctor, so I know that means a
Right.
bad hamstring injury. But has he been able to, test it out in any way?
Yeah. Yep. In a limited way. Go ahead.
Obviously, Kittle wants to get back out there. He said he expects to play up against a defense like the Seattle Seahawks, who really make it, they're pretty good at disrupting the pass game and the run game. How valuable is it to get a guy like Kittle back in the mix for this game specifically?
Oh, I mean, the more good players you have out there, everyone knows Kittle's a great player. We're going against a great defense, a great team. So it's definitely huge to have everyone on board who is capable of it.
When Sam was here, he didn't get the opportunity Mac got because Brock stayed healthy. But did you feel the same way about Sam as you did about Mac? If you would have needed him, that he could have come in and done what Mac has done essentially?
Yeah, I mean, not to compare Mac and Sam, but in terms of Sam was a guy we loved coming out of college, just like Mac. Sam was the third pick in the draft, and from a talent standpoint, you could always see that we got him, and you could see exactly why he was that. I mean, he was one of the more talented guys I've been around, and from a guy standpoint, he was unbelievable in the room. True leader. Guys loved being around him, and Sam's one of my favorite guys I've been able to coach and be around.
You said that his time here really benefited him. Did you see the time from when he first got here to when he left that he had improved a lot, even though he had seldom played in the game?
Yeah, I felt that. I mean, I think the most through OTAs and training camp, definitely, because it was cool when he got here, similar to Mac, they had been through a lot, and anytime you go through a number of systems, a number of teams, it's you can get watered down a little bit and what people are asking you to do, what you like doing. Eventually you have to do too much stuff, and you kind of just block everyone out and just do what you think can get it done. And he came in with such an open mind, and really stuff we asked him to do that he hadn't done, he didn't mind looking bad at it at first. Very similar to how Mac has been too, just trying different footwork and things like that. And to watch someone kind of who could succeed without that stuff, kind of be an open book to letting you coach them and trying things and doing it out through OTAs, watching them in training camp, then watching them throughout scout team throughout the whole year, even getting to play with them in week 17. I thought he improved a ton, and I thought it was good for him to also sit back and watch for a year too with what he had been through, and watch how Brock did it and things that made him successful, and turn it kind of into his own style, which he's done a great job at.
When you have a game of this magnitude with Trent, how do you decide between, obviously you want everybody all hands on deck for a big game, but also there's do or die games that could be coming beyond that. How do you kind of thread the needle in that situation?
I mean, it needs to be possible based off the doctors, and then it's got to be more on what Trent tells me. I mean, I definitely don't want to lose any players for the following week, knowing we're in the playoffs. But I mean, I also look at when you're playing to play one less playoff game. You can look at that as a playoff game. I mean, I know the season's not over if we lose, but you still got to go play a game the next week on the road if you lose, and you can completely avoid that by winning. So I see this as a playoff game too. So I don't look at it as it's maybe that you'd lose him, you won't have him next week. I look at it as simple as if the doctors okay it and Trent believes he can do it and get through it, then there's no decision on my part. We'll definitely have him up.
When you build your game plan at the beginning of the week, do you start by scribbling a rough draft on a piece of paper? How do you actually put the game plan together?
I used to be on paper. Now it's and I have probably 200 of those saved in our garages that make every move that my wife asks if she can throw away, and I tell her no, I'll look at them someday, and I never do. And about 5 years ago, I switched to an iPad, so it's just a bunch of scribbles on stuff that we have, and I scribble on it. All the other coaches scribble on it. We send them to each other. We start to build stuff, then we get together usually at the end of the night to kind of formalize it.
Does your dad have a big file of game plans he wrote out back in the day?
No, he doesn't. Yeah. they lost most of my baby pictures and stuff and the 100 moves we've made, so I don't think they have the game plan still.
Have you seen the Elway documentary?
I saw about 20 minutes of it. I was actually watching it, whether it was Friday or Saturday afternoon, and it was hitting home on a lot of things. And it seemed so cool that I actually shut it off because I wanted to wait till I could watch it with my family.
Kyle, how beneficial has it been for Austin Pleasants to be able to practice with the first team every Wednesday through the entire season?
I think it's really beneficial. I mean, you do get the next guy up. You always do get some reps in. I mean, not as much for the quarterback, but I mean, the O-linemen, they don't go every play, so we always mix them in some. But when you can get that whole day for yourself, especially a Wednesday throughout the year, it is huge. I thought that was huge for Jalen Moore last year, and I think it's been big for Austin this year.
On Jawan's game-winning touchdown a few days ago, Ricky Pearsall made a really key block on that play. Is he sort of asserting himself as a blocker?
I mean, I think Ricky, I think like all our guys, but I think Ricky's been the same. Like they don't take it down off. I mean, so he's not going to turn anything down. And I definitely like pumping our guys up for making good blocks. But I also, I don't think it's acceptable for receivers not to also. So that's what they're supposed to do. But he does it at a high level and he works. And that was a huge effort play at the end to make sure we got him scored.
How did you see Juwan weather that storm earlier in the year? It seemed like he was picking up a new injury every week.
It was tough. It was a battle for him. I watched him grind through a number of practices, just trying to see if he could go. I know he had to miss a few games just where he couldn't make it, but and then every time he would go, it kind of happened again. So I think Wednesdays and Thursdays were really rough. He'd always find a way to get out there Friday, and when you miss time like that because you can't go, and to still be able to get himself for the game, nor he's not making mistakes and everything, and just being patient. You know, and you always want those numbers too. You want the ball, and it can't always go that way. And Juwan never got too frustrated, always kept his focus, and I think he made it through all that, and it's really come full circle here towards the end of the year.
Coach, what do you think of the helmet and uniforms you guys will be wearing on Saturday night?
I didn't think much of it till I saw them wear it out 2 days ago. Thought it looked cool. I mean, my favorite uniforms are the ones we wore Sunday. I look at it as the 94 throwbacks because when we won the Super Bowl last, but I think that was the 75-year anniversary to where those were throwbacks to old ones, but I like the white pants and the white numbers.
On Juwan, since things are going so well now, can you now tell us what you guys were saying when you were screaming at each other?
That's just what people are close to do. He was competitive. He was frustrated he didn't get the ball, and I was frustrated that he was frustrated. So we've been with each other long enough to know that'll work out. Let's quit making a big deal about it. And but we got a little heated argument on the sidelines. Got a lot better at halftime, and then we really made up the next day. And we haven't had any arguments since. But I actually think that was a good argument, to where sometimes you got to blow things up a little bit for things to get better. And I think that was a really good interaction that has only led to positives ever since then.
I feel like stuff may have been simmering, I mean, not necessarily with you, but for him to get whatever it was off his chest was healthy.
It ended up being healthy. You don't always know. I mean, it's sometimes, I mean, all you guys got to do is watch how Juwan plays. You guys know how competitive he is. And that takes a certain mindset to get to that type of level. Like Juwan wants the ball every play. And Juwan's never been a tough guy to deal with in that way. He just that's where he gets his mind to play. And he wanted to help us win, and he hadn't got it in the first half. And I probably could have done a better job of ignoring it and staying away instead of joining in and fighting with them. That was a little immature of myself, but there was things that were bothering me. But when you know someone and they know you too, you can usually get through that stuff. And I think we both, after it, realized that that was so unnecessary. We were both just worked up and competitive, and I think intentions are a big thing, and I think we both know each other, and we realized that after it, and I think it helped us.
Did Clay Kubiak's job change this year with the addition of offensive coordinator? I think you said he was pretty much doing that anyway, or did his job change this year at all?
Clay's been doing the exact same thing since 23. Clay does not get enough recognition. Clay is, it's nothing against anyone else, but is good as anyone I've had, and is responsible for just as much, if not more, of the game plan than myself. So Clay's a stud.
McCaffrey and Juszczyk, neither one of those guys are on the injury report, right? So
Yeah.
how did you monitor them this week, and how are they?
We monitored our whole team. This is the first time we didn't have, except on Thursday game. It's the first time we haven't had a full speed rep this week. It was just something we needed to do for a number of those guys, but just also being 3 games in 13 days, we just had to do that as a whole for our team. All right, thanks, guys.